Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Northern Lights. I'm your host, Tanner, joined today by Steve and Jordan. How's it going, guys?
What's up, Tanner? Doing well?
Happy to be back in the studio.
Hey, Jordan.
Hey, guys. I feel like vibes are immaculate today.
Oh, yeah.
I feel a good show ahead of us.
I was cold last week, but we have now thawed. It's slightly warmer, ever so slightly, and we're back.
I like the sprinkle of snow.
Mm-hmm.
Consistent sprinkles.
Yeah. Did you guys like the negative 55 in Frostbite Falls, Minnesota?
Ooh.
No, we didn't.
No.
Can you imagine that, like, we both live in the Twin Cities,
Mm-hmm.
but if you go 2 hours north, 3 hours north,
Mm-hmm.
4, like, can you imagine how much worse it gets
Oh, so much worse.
as you reach International Falls?
Yeah. I would not want to spend a decent amount of time in northern Minnesota when it's negative 50, and glad that we didn't spend a ton of time outside the last couple of days.
I went to Brainerd last night,
Okay.
up and back.
All right. How was that?
I tell you what, it was more fun. The drive home was more fun than the drive there.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I could see that. Was it really fucking cold there?
I mean, yeah, the worst. Okay, so you go outside, you have a smoke.
Mm-hmm.
One joint gets passed around, and then inevitably a second joint gets passed around.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're ready to wrap, right? You're like, okay, I'm really cold, but I'm enjoying the company of these people. We're 2 joints in. I think I'm ready to go back inside.
Yeah.
And then Mark Hendrickson walks out from Cannabis with a white owl loaded up. And it's like, I'm not going to leave Mark outside by himself.
No, you can't. Can't leave people hanging.
Right. I mean, that's like Cannabis, Garrison Hempfest. Like, you know, Mark's a good guy. We gotta hang out. I haven't seen him in a while. And come to find out, the blunt hit so much better than the joint at less than 17 degrees or whatever it was last night.
There we go.
So, you know, be kind, rewind, slow down, enjoy the company of others.
Yeah.
And then when you get back inside, you're just like, I don't do well outside.
Yeah.
I was saying to my wife this week, I was like, I spend so much less money buying flower in the winter than I do the summer, because in the summer, I'm just ripping through joints because it's like I want to be outside.
Yeah,
But in the winter, I'm there like just sucking down a bowl as quick as I can because I'm like, Duh.
Yep. You're just trying to get through it as fast as you can.
I
Enjoy it, but fast.
So, it helps me with moderation, I guess.
Coffee is like that too. Like, I'm not going to the coffee shop as much. I'm just using the mystery bags that I'm buying at the co-op. They got this, like, they don't tell you what the bean is, and it's random varieties, but it's like, I bought a bag for $3.19, and you pour that into your coffee machine, the beans, and you're like, that's how much a cup of coffee costs at Caribou, but I'm getting way more cups in my own grinder, you know?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But last thing, fine, we'll play a game, but I was talking to a
Spoiler
store.
alert.
Whoa, Steve.
People don't know we have an outline. They think this is impromptu, right? We're just flying by the seat of our pants. Sorry, keep going.
Well, you know, with the cold weather, whether it's coffee or cannabis, make sure you go out and you support your local hemp CBD retail shop, your local dispensary. Like, these stores slow down in the wintertime. We may not have flower at all of our locations, but, you know, definitely check out the Dabbler Depot, Seed and Sesh, Dabbler Depot THC, and try to get these stores, a little more lively. Come out on Tuesdays, come out on Friday afternoons. Like, do what you can to support the local market.
I love it. Constant great reminder. Yeah. Well, we got a full episode today. As you mentioned, we're going to be playing a game. We've got some news that we're going to be jumping into from OCM, checking in on the rules, checking in on a new report, checking in on the courts. We're going to be featuring an interview with Dope CFO, Dave Woodpeck, a little bit later. Excited for that conversation. And, of course, our high note at the end, as we do.
Yes.
But first, Steve, you brought something sort of cool into the studio today.
I did indeed. Can I show you?
Yeah, it's sitting right here, right? But there we go. Steve, what is that?
It's a Minnesota Cannabis College custom Grove bag designed by the team at Grove Bag and the Minnesota Cannabis College.
Wow. Wow, look at that.
It's modeled after the 2024 sticker that you put out. You were the first person to put out the new Minnesota State flag on a sticker, but you made it the cannabis version, right?
For sure.
And we played off that. Actually, you were super psyched about this idea with Grove Bags being like a national player in the like storage space, the container space. How would you describe Grove Bags?
So Grove Bag is like one of the OGs when it comes to finding containers that aren't glass that you're able to put cannabis in and have it be preserved. We have a Grove Bag over on the shelf back there that people have been seeing for a while from Mephisto. But when they reached out to us and said, hey, we're looking to come into Minnesota.
Yeah.
Any chance you guys want a bag? It's sort of a no-brainer.
No brainer at all. They're based in Ohio. Lance, our contact, he's the CMO there. You recommended that we reach out to him, see what they would say. And we reached out to them. They had seen what we were doing on the podcast and with the Minnesota Cannabis College. And we said, yeah, we'd love to do something like a collab. And they ran their last run of the year, and they were able to get us on in like a limited run. So we have less than 1,000 bags. We're actually going to have a way of getting them to the people, but this is like the first bag, and it just arrived this week. So shout out to the Cannabis College and everything that you're doing here.
Yeah, man, it's so cool having Grove Bags reach out and want to put something together like this. That sticker that we put out, we're pretty certain is like the first Minnesota flag sticker, like period. Not even just like the cannabis parody, but like Minnesota flag sticker that was made. It was printed the day the flag was adopted, before it was technically official. And we were so excited to be able to bust that out. When they reached out and said, hey, we saw that, we thought, that makes a pretty cool bag. Turning our flag into the first flag-themed grow bag was just such a no-brainer, as you would say. But
this is a cannabis collaboration, a Minnesota cannabis collaboration, really. We're going to be selling these bags through local stores. If you're interested in picking up a pack, we've got units available. We'll also probably have them on the Cannabis College website.
Yeah, so we got a link in the show notes for both of those. So both for the consumers, if you're looking to just pick up one bag, you want to show people that you're repping Minnesota-grown weed, there's no better way than putting it in the Minnesota bag. And yeah, if you're a store, you're wanting to get these in, we'd want you to get these out to the people. In fact, we've got some Minnesota-grown weed right inside there. Some wonderful truffle cake from a good buddy of ours. Makes it on the show a lot, and we like that one.
Truffle cake not included with the purchase of the bag.
Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. This is just the bag. We want to make that very clear. This is an empty bag you're getting, but it's filled with potential. That's what it's filled with. You can put in your home grow, some grow from a buddy, or who knows, when the stores open in just a couple months here, you could go and dump it out of the ugly commercial container and put it into this really cool bag.
It's reusable, and it's got Terp Lock technology.
Child safe, which is always nice, a nice little sort of bonus. So shout out Grove Bag for reaching out and putting that together. And like I said, if you wanna get this bag, check out that link. We wanna get you the bag.
It's a great way to support the Cannabis College and the Northern Lights podcast. We're super psyched for 2025, and we've been keeping this under wraps for a while. So just smash that like button.
Yeah, glad it's finally here. We should hike this one up the flagpole. No, don't laugh at that. I'm
amazing.
Sorry. I'm sorry. All right. Well, so that out of the way, we're gonna permanently leave this always on our table because that is just so cool. I love being able to have that. Shout out to Grow Bag again.
We secured the bag.
We secured the bag. Nah, we did. Well, guys, should we play a game?
Is it game time?
Did you guys know this was coming?
Game time!
Oh, my gosh. All right. All right, so we've been trying out new games every single week. Some of them absolute knockouts. I think so.
Yeah.
Some of them, not so much. So I'm excited to see what you guys think of today. Per usual, you guys have a very short description of the game at most and no actual information about it. Today, our game is called Blazed and Confused. Some people might call this game Would You Rather, but that's not. We can't patent that. So this is Blazed and Confused. And you're going to get would you rather type questions that are increasingly ridiculous and cannabis and Minnesota themed.
I hope Snoop Dogg shows up.
I just imagine Tanner like some 2 a.m. on a Wednesday night just feverishly like that's when the inspiration strikes for these things, and then all of a sudden you and I get embarrassed on camera.
I'm going to say that was very season 1. I'm going to go 1 a.m. Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. He's wrapping up like, fuck this. I've given it what I can.
You know what? I appreciate that. So I'll sort of tell you the behind the scenes. We did a game 4 weeks ago, whatever, and I got some good feedback from the people in the studio on it. And I was like, all right, we might do more games. So I went home later that weekend, fat dabs, sat down with a Google Doc and said, all right, what can we do? And came up with a list of a ton of games. I looked back at it later. Some of them were trash, so they'll never make it in the studio. Some of them
That's
were
for the Patreon. That's for the Patreon.
Yeah. Some of them were great. We're gonna spread those out. Some of them were other ones, and I'll be honest. Today we're gonna get an other one. So let's jump in. Woo! So you're gonna be getting a would you rather question, and you have to answer which one would you rather, and we'll see if we get increasingly more blazed and confused. I don't know. All right,
Let's start with Jordan. All
right, Jordan.
Why?
Here,
Because I'm always blazed and confused.
because we're forcing you there.
Because the squirrel poupon cannot happen 2 weeks in a row.
OG lemur breath is going to live in my brain for a long time. All right, Jordan, would you rather smoke at the side of a wonderful Minnesota lake or go inside where it's nice, cozy, and warm in the winter and do a dab while listening to Prince music? What's your go-to?
I can see the pros and cons of both here. Can I ask for more context?
Yes.
Okay, so this lake.
Mm-hmm.
Did he say the side of a lake?
Side of a lake. Like, is
The lakefront, if you will.
okay, so like my ankles aren't just like in the water.
I mean, if you want them to be, I'm picturing sitting in like an Adirondack chair by the side of like a lake in northern Minnesota.
Deal.
Mm.
Okay, so I'm sitting myself in Nisswa. What
Yeah.
time of year are we talking?
13 miles from Baxter, right?
Yeah.
Just about.
I think I'd put it like end of August, maybe.
Done. Sold. That's the one.
All right, so Jordan's going to be outside enjoying the nice weather,
Yep.
smoking a joint by the fire.
Yep.
I thought Jordan was going to have to scrape the side of a lake for like some earthy, flavorful dabs.
Oh, no. These aren't really like, which of these suck more? Just, well, I mean,
yeah.
maybe. I don't know. All right.
I was waiting for you to drop the hammer on. And I was like, okay.
No, we're starting nice.
Okay, nice. All right, Steve.
Minnesota.
They
nice.
get increasingly more ridiculous.
I see
so
that.
that's where we're starting.
And that means it goes up.
Or maybe down. I don't know how people look
All
at
right,
this.
great.
All right, Steve, here we go. Would you rather hotbox a sauna in the middle of the summer or have a joint outside when it is negative 30 degrees? Something you just touched on
Right.
mere moments ago.
Right.
A good question for you.
I have hotboxed a sauna before, and I would do it again.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So exact same time of year that you're sitting by the side of the lake, Steve is next door in like those wooden saunas, hotboxing the fuck out of that.
Just like a little hobbit sitting in a little barrel. Just
Yep.
like,
Yeah, just struggling to breathe. Not because of smoke, because of the
the air's
temperature.
awfully thick in here.
I actually hotboxed a sauna on top of a Los Angeles rooftop, like a skyscraper roof, like a very tall apartment building, not quite a skyscraper, pretty tall though, like 30 floors. And it was dope. So
where would you rate on the 0 to 10 token system?
there was a lot of tokens there. I would say, based off the recent episodes of Tanner's Terp Tastings, which you can find on Friday afternoons, I'm going to say it was 7.5.
All right, there we go. 7.5.
Damn.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Because
That's
it
pretty
was
good.
hot. You know, it wasn't
Yeah.
like ideal to smoke pot in a sauna, you know. But it was
Yeah.
fun. It was kind of fun.
but
All
it's a wet heat.
All right, Jordan. Next one is for you. Here we go.
Here we go.
Would you rather only get high while listening to elevator music? So you can smoke weed, but unless you're listening to elevator music, you're not going to get high. Or you only get high while actively posing like Chris Lindahl. So you got to decide, are you posing the guaranteed offer the entire time when you're getting guaranteed stoned? Or are you, in fact, just listening to elevator music, just buzzing along?
I sure hope, Tanner, you never get into like corrections because you have a torturous mind.
Correction.
I'm gonna take the elevator music. I feel like there's a little more freedom and flexibility to like make that my own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
And yeah, you can just kind of
Would it be covers of like cannabis themed music. Like it would be like a Snoop Dogg song or something. Like, but the elevator music.
Yeah,
version.
yeah, just like, and then I got high, but in like nice, sweet clarinet.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm taking elevator music.
All right, elevator music it is.
But the thing is the elevator music, that type of torture is probably the type of torture to like make me do something very drastic very quickly.
So elevator music, and then he becomes a murderer.
Yep.
All right.
Something.
Well, heard it here first.
Better than Chris Lindahl.
Better than Chris Lindahl. Do you think he has to stand like that for like people see him and they're like, "Oh, you're that guy," and he's like,
There's
I don't know.
like Minnesota Twins co-branded like ads at the Twins game where it's
Yeah.
literally like the full screen is just like.
"Oh yeah, it stretches all the way along." Same with the XL.
Oh yeah.
All right, Steve. Would you rather have a cannabis strain named after you, but it's universally hated, or you created like an iconic strain, but nobody ever knows that it was you?
Yeah, I feel like as I mature in production and entrepreneurship, I think it's cooler and cooler to keep things under wraps.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So that's the mature answer.
So you'd make some baller strain that people are like, "Oh, that's great," but then maybe don't know that it's a Steve cut per se.
Yeah,
That's
like watch the last episode. We got some strains on there.
Absolutely. All right, Jordan.
I'm ready.
Would you rather forget your lighter every single time that you go to smoke weed?
Done.
Or would you rather get the munchies, but only have THC gummies at home? So like you're hungry, but everything around you is just going to get you more stoned.
Higher and higher.
Can you take me high? Yeah, I'm taking this the munchies with the gummies.
All right,
yeah. I'm just gonna feed the beast.
What if they were the Lion Series gummies from last weekend? Would you enjoy those?
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Just give me a full sheet of them. Yeah.
That would suck, but be funny at the same time.
Just as long as somebody's got their phone out, like just recording. We gotta get some content out of this thing.
Could you handle that?
Well, so this is based on a real life situation where I had the munchies and I didn't really have much to eat except a decent amount of half-eaten gummy bags. And spoiler alert, I now have a lot of less half-filled gummy bags.
More gummies, please.
More gummies, please. By the way, if you want your product sponsored on the show, give us a call. All right. Next, Steve. Here we go. Would you rather get the munchies at the state fair, but you can only get access to Jell-O salad with marshmallows in it? Or would you rather get the munchies at the state fair, but only have access to lutefisk on a stick?
Oh, no, fuck you, Tanner.
I'm so glad you have this.
So are
one.
you getting the Jell-O ambrosia delicious salad or lutefisk on a stick?
I hear you. Respectfully.
I don't acknowledge this question.
Yeah. Moving on.
The Jell-O, due to the weather, the warmth of August, September.
All right, yeah.
No air conditioning per
You
se.
could shoot it back.
Yeah, I'd shoot it back. Okay, how about this? I'm going to get unlimited Jell-Os, and then I'm going to barter with folks that I see
Okay,
around
all right, there we go.
the state fairgrounds
I like that.
in hopes of a hot dog or a fried ice cream sandwich or something that is more of my munchy style.
All right, I'll take it. All right, we only have a couple more here, and then we are going to be wrapping up this game. All right, Jordan, next one is for you. Would you rather take a dab while standing on top of the Paul Bunyan statue? You know the one.
I know the one. Bemidji.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I know there's multiple.
Others
You sort of get
claim. Yeah, others claim Paul Bunyan as
the ones
the
out of
one
Minnesota
true
make
Paul
me
Bunyan.
upset. But all right, so you're doing a dab there, or would you rather do a dab, but you're in the giant Ferris wheel at the state fair?
Of course, the Ferris wheel.
All right,
The fair Tanner, that was the easiest. That was the
No,
softball.
you've had
one.
some good ones. I'm glad you started. The
I know. I'm so sorry.
You're burying this cross.
I
for
didn't
me.
create
Here,
this list as if we were going to be bouncing off every other, so I apologize that it does appear every other is.
What year did the Puffco make its debut at the giant Ferris wheel in Minnesota?
Oh, yeah. So probably the first year that someone would be hitting their Puffco at the state fair would probably be like 2021.
Okay.
They existed before then. Puffco had a pen that existed long before then. Whether they were being brought into the state fair actively, I think maybe less. I can tell you guaranteed at least in 2024.
Sometime between 2021 and 2024.
Yeah, I could be certain by last year there was a Puffco. And I will tell you, if you're on the air ride, I'm forgetting the Sky Glider, and you look across at the person next to you, and they're also hitting a vape pen, and you just sort of nod at each other, that is cool. Shout out Minnesotans that are.
If you do that, like and subscribe to this episode and tell your friends, because we need more of you.
Yeah, and state fair officials do not want me dabbing on the top of the air glide, then set up a cannabis corner, and I fucking won't. All right, moving on from
and
that
go
one.
back to season 1 with Tanner and John Barty as they break down better state fairground rules.
Yeah, I forgot. John Barty was appointed director of the Minnesota State Fair. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
That was a bit, yeah.
For one day.
Yep, yeah. All right, Steve, here you go. Would you rather get uncomfortably high and have to order a Juicy Lucy at a packed Matt's bar?
Ooh.
Or do you want to have to explain THC and minor cannabinoid dosing to a very skeptical relative?
Tanner, these are amazing.
Give me CBC, CBJ.
Okay. Don't forget THC OPW. That's the new one.
Is that a real thing?
No, unfortunately not.
I remember leaving a really cool party. It was Balanced release party for their mushroom elixir or their brain booster beverage, and then the other one, and they did it at a dope warehouse in the North Loop, and Josh from Legacy was there, and Isai, and I was walking down we were getting out of the elevator, and there was a person who had clearly had a good time at the party, was leaving, and was trying to ask us, what's the deal with this Delta 6? And it's like, look, I know you're sort of just trying to prove a point that people are ignorant, but you just had a really good time at a party, and if you would have tried a little bit harder, you would have known that there is no such thing as Delta 6 or Delta 7, whatever they were alluding
just wait till
to.
my cross comes out later this year. It's really high. THCP and Delta 6.
But it's like, I would rather do that because I could take my time with my family and be patient. Versus Matt's bar is going to be a tight spot, and it's going to be loud, and
cash only.
And it's yeah.
Ooh, all
yeah.
right.
Good point.
That's a stressor in and of itself.
Give me CBG for Aunt Mary for 200.
There we go. All right. Well, and then our last question for today, wrapping up our Blazed and Confused segment, the meh segment. Will it come back? Only you guys get to decide.
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Should it? Question, the final one, number 9. Would you rather get the perfect high every time, but be stuck in an eternal Minnesota goodbye? Or would you rather get high, but never just high enough? Always close, but never right where you want to be, but never have to do the Minnesota goodbye ever again. You get to do the Irish goodbye, the see ya folks, and then leave.
See, I'm taking the second option because I've already got the Irish goodbye down. You guys know me well enough to know that I'll just evaporate. I'll just be like, oh yeah, George.
Where did he go?
Yep. And I will already be showering at that point. I'm already home getting ready for bed.
But you're not high.
Who says?
Well, you're not.
I'm not perfectly.
Is that going to bother you?
I love not talking to people more than I love being perfectly high.
Wait, but that's what this show is. No, I'm just kidding. All right, Steve.
That's why he sits over there.
Yeah, that's.
I'm in the
That's
dark.
why we just got the new camera. All right, Steve. Which one would you prefer to have? You got the Minnesota goodbye, but you're pretty stoned, or the see ya folks?
The perfectly stoned with the Minnesota goodbye kind of reminds me of the gummy dilemma that you had, where you're just
you can eat, but you're only gonna get more high,
and so you'll just keep getting higher and higher because It would be funnier and funnier because you wouldn't be leaving, but you'd stay super high.
Yeah.
I think it would be a riot. It'd be fun. I'll go with that one.
Yeah.
All right, you.
Some days it feels like the first one for me. Like we're still saying goodbye.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's like Earl Giles to a T.
It's like, wow, we were outside, and now somehow we're back inside.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah, shout out Jen, speaking of Earl Giles. I hate having to do the, like, I really have to go now. And can I chat you for a minute? No, I'm so sorry. This can't be the Minnesota goodbye. I'm already an hour late. I have to go. Yeah. Love you, Jen. Let's chat. But yeah. Thank you guys for playing. Blazed and Confused.
Thanks for bringing the pain, dude.
The game.
that was hard.
I love that game.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, rules, court cases, and a report from OCM. We'll be right back.